And hello everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Ship Nuggets. Excited, delighted to be with you showing this video. How have you guys been? Okay, cool. You know, moving on. Tired of being at home? How have you been? Well, I want to just share something real quick on following in crisis. How do you follow in crisis? Should you even follow in crisis? What am I to do when I hit a tough patch and people are leading me and it doesn't seem like they're leading me in the right direction? Or it seems they may be leading me in the right direction, but I may not see it. How can I follow correctly? Well, first and foremost, followership is very vital for life and very vital for success. And many times the reason why people kind of approach followership with stinky face is because they don't understand what followership is all about. And when we have a good understanding of followership, you will know that it's a ship that we need to constantly be getting into, especially in times of uncertainty, and I'll tell you why. Now, everyone is following something, whether you like it or not. You are following someone, you're following an ideal, there's definitely something that you're following. And so it makes sense, especially in times of crisis, to identify who or what you are following or what your motivations are. Basically, also everybody follows what they're motivated by. What motivates you? Now, what happens when there's a change in perception? What happens when there's a change in perception with regards to life? What do you do? Who do you follow? Well, the first thing I want to say is this, that followership is a function of our will. Followership is a function of your will. Followership is a function of your will. In other words, you have a say in what and or who you follow. Now, having said this, how do I operationalize this? How do I, apply this in my daily life? Well, first of all, I think that many people who are employed, you work in a company, or people who are self-employed, there's always at somewhere someone that you're going to be reporting to, or someone that you're going to be giving feedback on to. There's always somebody that you're going to relay some information to. And so the first thing I would say is always seek to have clear lines of communication with whoever those people are. Seek clear lines of communication. Oh, but what if they're not communicating with me? Then you have to evaluate your place there, and you have to evaluate their place in your life. So first thing is establish clear-cut communication. Seek for clarity, especially in times of uncertainty. What's going on? What are we supposed to do? Clarify expectations. What do you expect from us right now? What do you expect from me? What are your expectations? Because in times of uncertainty, the leaders sometimes are all over the place trying to figure things out. Things are changing every second, and they have to deal with information that you may not be privy with. So because you may not be privy to the information that they have, if there are no clear lines of communication, so many things will be lost in transition, and then you have this creates an environment for strife, right? So leaders need to share with the people that work with them what's really going on. Now, I'm not saying share everything, but just give vital information enough for those who work with you to know what next step to take. Okay, so on both sides, and then as a follower or as an employee or whatever you want to call it, you also need to seek for clarity. So in your meetings, you're asking, what are your expectations? What's the situation? What can you divulge to me right now? What can you tell me right now about what's going on? The second thing about it is how you communicate is very important, because when people are in very high stress situations, if they're not careful, especially on the leader side, they may think that every question that you ask them about for clarity may be a personal attack on them. Okay, We think that you're personally attacking them because you're asking for clarity. But you're just asking for clarity. But we think that you're personally attacking them. So you want to make sure that the way you communicate your frustration, or the way you communicate your request for clarity, is done with prudence, is done with wisdom, is done with decorum, and is done with tact. Okay, that you are presenting the questions, putting into consideration the amount of work that the leader has done prior to your meeting. Again, I'm just trying to save you the back and forth and the stress. You have to do this, or else sometimes, especially in stressful situations, a leader may think that you're attacking them. The next thing is you want to find out, okay, where am I in the squadron of things? Now, what type of follower am I? Am I, a laissez-faire type of follower? Am I an inactive follower? Am I, a kind of a follower that, is, what they call, like, I just want to do my job and go out of get my paycheck and get out of the way. I don't want to be involved in the minutia of what's going on with corporate world or whatever. Where am I? Or am I really an effective follower, as Robert E. Kelly talks about, where I am really involved in the minutia, if you will. I'm engaged in critical thinking. I'm also participating in what's going on. What kind of follower am I? So this is a time for you to evaluate, okay, what kind of follower am I? Like, there are some people that they need instructions. If you don't write it out for them, they're never going to function well. You have to write step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7. But guess what? Sometimes in crisis time, in times of uncertainty, nobody has the time to write anything down for you. You have to get, kind of learn on the go, right? So you as a follower, you have to be willing to make adjustments to your followership based on the situation that is called for. So there are times where, yes, protocol is needed, protocol should be observed. But then there are times where, especially in times of uncertainty, or times where there's perceived uncertainty or things are not stable, where you have to just kind of be flexible and learn on the fly. So the next thing is be flexible, be adaptable. Okay, be adaptable. I many times I've seen it, like, people struggle with this aspect of flexibility. You want the leaders to be flexible, but why can't you be flexible too? Right? Why can't you be flexible too? So it goes both ways. So this leadership followership is a relationship. So there's plenty of blame you can put on the leader, but we also, whoever we are as followers, we have to also take responsibility too. So figure out where you are in the quadrant and adjust accordingly. Be flexible with the situation. Okay? Now, after being flexible, what else can you do? Seek clarity, be flexible. Then you want to also take steps. Take some steps. Be proactive. Okay? Be proactive. I did this. This is what I did. And then communicate your proactiveness to the leaders. So I know this is just a few things. These are just a few things I want to talk about here, but I think these 2 or 3 things these are major things that a lot of people struggle with: communication, having clear lines of communication, and flexibility. Those 2 things are big, and if you can't handle those 2 things, especially in crisis time, as an employee or as a follower, you're going to have problems. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Look forward to seeing you again. Until then, let's keep sailing to the top.